Hi everyone, my name is Sally Rodriguez and I'm here to tell you more about SIGGRAPH and the Student Volunteer Program. I first learned about the Student Volunteer Program through Terrence Masson. I was taking a class from my program. It's the Digital Media Master Program at Northeastern. It was called IT and Creative Practices. So we went to a presentation about SIGGRAPH, and during that presentation, I was in awe of the short films that they show at SIGGRAPH and compete. I said to myself, Sally, this is where you have to be. So once the presentation was over, I just went and talked to Terrence and I said, I'm a student, I'm a master program, and I really want to work in the industry. I want to be a production manager, and I just want to show you my resume and see what you think. So 2 weeks later, I went and met with him, and he looked at my resume and he said, everything is good, but if you feel like you need more and you want to learn more about the industry and maybe find out why you're lacking and what you can learn in your program that you're not learning right now, become a student volunteer and go to SIGGRAPH. So I applied. It was maybe 2 weeks, like what you have right now, once I finished this presentation, to fill out your application. And I did it. It was long, but it's very easy. You just need to do an essay and get a reference, their number and their name and their email. That's it. That's all you need. And just fill out the application, have your student ID and scan it and put it with the application. I fill it up, and I wasn't thinking that I was going to get picked, but I did. It was 2009, and it was for SIGGRAPH 2009, Louisiana, New Orleans. And this is my hat from when I was a volunteer then. I even went with my husband. I took it as a vacation because I wasn't sure what I was going into. So just in case I didn't like it, at least I got a vacation out of it. And I have to say that I had the best time ever. It was a lot of work, but I learned a lot. I met a lot of great people. I met a lot of people in the industry. I got to ask my questions, and by seeing all the projects, reading some of the work, experiencing the whole thing, asking questions to the other volunteers, learning from other people in the industry, I was blown away. I came back knowing what I needed to do. I even asked the person responsible for creating the classes at the school, this is what I want to learn, this is what I need. At that point, I knew where I needed to be. And the great thing about being a student volunteer, especially when I was this year here, you have access to everybody. Everybody. If you want to ask a question, even if it's a big producer or somebody that is creating 3D, I didn't know who they were, but the few that I knew who they were, even if I approached them, they were more than willing to talk to me because I was wearing the red vest, which is that what student volunteers wear, and I was wearing the hat, and they knew what we were doing there, and they really appreciate you from being there because they know that the people that apply and they get picked is because they really want to be part of the industry. When I went in, because I didn't know what to expect. I thought there weren't going to be any girls, no Latinos, nobody that spoke Spanish, and nobody with my background. I'm a journalist, so there's just no way there's going to be anybody in this kind of program. They're all going to be geniuses, or people that just do amazing artwork. And when I got there, I was completely wrong. There were a lot of girls and people my age. There were a lot of Latinos and a lot of Latino companies. There were a lot of people who spoke Spanish because there were people from all over the world. And there were people with my background too that were trying to find out the same thing, or they were writing about this great industry. I met with one of the writers from the computer graphics world, and she gave me amazing ideas, and she also gave me a great advice. Now, what I really want you to do is apply. You have until February 14 to apply to SIGGRAPH Vancouver. It's going to be the first time in Canada, so I imagine they're going to go all out for it. You're going to have a blast. And also, you can apply to SIGGRAPH Asia, which I just went last year, December. This is their amazing poster here. This was one of the t-shirts they had for Seoul. I was in Korea, yay. And I applied not thinking that I was going to get picked, but I did. And this time I thought there were going to be more Americans, but there weren't really that many. Maybe like 5 of us. And I can't really count as American because I speak Spanish. So this time around, I wish in China there will be many of us, and many of us from Northeastern. One of the people that I met, that I kept in touch, was a student volunteer from Venezuela. She did the student volunteer program 2 years prior to the one from New Orleans. And then I met her again in Los Angeles. And when I met her in New Orleans, she was finishing up. And when I met her in Los Angeles, she was done with school. And she wasn't picked to be a student volunteer because she was done with school. She was having a hard time finding a job. And it was almost to the month before she had to go back to Venezuela that she finally got an amazing opportunity. And through networking to the people that she met at SIGGRAPH through the years. And right now, she recently worked in the movie The Green Hornet, doing 2D to 3D. And she's so happy now. And this is one of the great things that happen when you're a student volunteer. The same thing happened to me on the plane coming back from Korea. I didn't have time to go meet with Lucasfilm's Singapore. They were recruiting at the conference. And I was not happy about that. But next to me at the plane was the recruiter from Lucasfilms. And I got to ask her a lot of questions and talk to her, and now we are connected through LinkedIn. So when I was taking the taxi to go to the one of the parties that they have for us, for the people that attend the conference in Korea, the person in the car with me, we share a cab, he was just standing on the street in front of the hotel, and he said, "Oh, I help you, I know where it is." And he worked in the movie Avatar. His company was one of the companies that worked in that movie. So this is the stuff that happens to you. You meet everybody, and it's not a joke. You just have to be ready, have your cards ready, have your resume ready, have your portfolio ready when you're there. For those of you that are artists, Disney's there. There's a lot of companies that will actually look at your work and criticize it for you. So you know what you need. You know where to go. And you can ask other people that have been going through this, because the student volunteers are not only undergrads or graduate students like me. You have people with PhD and doctorates. You have people that are professors. You have access to an amazing pool of incredible people that know what they're doing. And I just wish for you the same thing that I got from it. Go online, go to SIGGRAPH.org/2011. For those of you that want to apply to Vancouver, you have until February 14. And for those of you that want to apply for Asia, it is SIGGRAPH. I have to read it because it's kind of okay. SIGGRAPH.org/Asia2011. And then it takes you to the page. Just save your money, save your time, plan for it. And I am telling you, you're going to have the best experience ever. If you want to see more about what you can find at SIGGRAPH, go to my blog. Again, it's kirko.blogspot.com. And I'm always willing to answer any questions if you have any questions. And I wish this helps you out. And let's see how many Huskies goes to SIGGRAPH this year.